Hi, my name is Lindsay Tillinghast, and I'm your host for this episode of the College and Career Readiness podcast. Today we are joined by our special guest, lawyer and school board member, Lisa Kaplan. Before we start our interview, remember to take control of your future, join the California Army National Guard, serve your community during local and state emergencies. You'll learn marketable skills, earn a paycheck, and get money for school. Contact Sergeant Aquino today at 916-233-7615. Hi.
Good morning, Lindsay.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. So what was your inspiration behind your career?
I'd like to say I wanted to be an attorney from a little girl. I think if you'd ask, my parents would say they probably could have guessed because I like to have discussions or per se argue with them and try and get my way. But my inspiration actually was a college friend of mine wanted to become an attorney. She helped me get a job working in a law firm. I didn't know I wanted to be an attorney, but she told me one day, let's come take the LSAT together, and c'est la vie. I didn't spend much time thinking about it and started applying for colleges, and I ended up in Sacramento because I was able to leverage the most amount of scholarships guaranteed out of McGeorge. And so considering I was paying for college and law school myself, that was something that was important to me.
That's really great. And so then how long did it take for you to get that education, and kind of where did you go and what did you choose to major in to do that?
So as you know, college, if you want to do it, you can do it in 4 years. I know some really smart kids that did it in 3, or you can take 5 or 6 years if you don't quite know. But law school is either 3 or 4 years. 3 years if it's a day program, 4 years if it's a night program. My biggest mistake is, sure, I was going to become an attorney, and that's what I was going to do. And I didn't spend much time thinking about what did I want to do after. Do I really want to practice law? What interests me? One of the things, again, I got to credit a lot of my friends, got me involved working for a political organization called the Planning and Conservation League that was really about awareness in environment and how can we protect it. And I was looking at legislation at the Capitol and support and opposition letters, and started going over the Capitol and said, wow, this is pretty cool. This is the beginning of it. So attorneys look at the law and apply the law. The legislature creates the law. And so being at the forefront, I thought was really exciting. So after I graduated law school, I worked for a couple of law firms temporarily to pay the bills while I was interviewing in the Capitol, and started in the Capitol in 2001.
Wow, that's really cool. So aside from the good things, what kind of obstacles may you have faced during that?
Absolutely. I would recommend, this Me Too movement going on. I'm sure everybody has heard about it. I am actually one of the original signatories to the We Said Enough letter that came out and from ladies working in the Capitol. Unfortunately, my naivete hurt me a little bit when I worked in the Capitol. One of the offices I worked for, I negotiated a higher 5% raise and then 5% 6 months later upon a satisfactory review. My biggest mistake while I'm an attorney, I didn't get that in writing. It was agreed to between the boss and a couple other people. Come 6 months later, when I asked for my 5% raise because I'd gotten a good review from the boss, my immediate boss pretended like it didn't happen, but also said, well, why am I not good enough for you to date? And then things started changing in the Capitol thereafter, how I was treated. Ultimately, I filed a complaint because that's what you do. It's against the law to discriminate. Unfortunately, at that time, my complaint didn't go anywhere. It was kind of shoved under, not given any validity. And I was pushed out. And the way things work in the Capitol, if I was stubborn enough, my parents raised me right to have grit and fight for what I believe in. They knew I was probably not going to let this complaint go, so they found me a job outside of the Capitol. But what you have to realize is at that time, I didn't know that. I only found those things after the fact, that I was pushed to have an outside job on condition that I basically dropped that complaint. But unfortunately, because of at that time, the male camaraderie, that ultimately led to me continuously standing up for myself. I was told my cleavage hurt the business. I was told I was not friendly enough. I was told I needed to hang out with the guys at night more. Those things, and me kind of saying I'm smart, my brains should be enough, led to me standing up to some people that were very powerful, and I couldn't find a job for 2 years. And so that was the impetus of me starting my own law firm, being an attorney. So the obstacles exist. That was 10 years ago. I didn't think much of it, except that it's important to believe in yourself. I believed in myself, and it was extremely difficult time, not having a lot of money, making it on your own, being very scared. But I knew I stood up and did what was right, and sometimes doing what right, you have to go through a rough patch, but you learn from that. And now being the mom of 2 little girls, that was the reason I signed on to that letter, because heaven forbid any one of you sitting before me have to deal with that. No, where is equality? Where is equity for all? No woman, no person of color should have to fight for what everybody else has. And so that needs to stop now. So it's important that everyone has a voice. And so that's not a pretty story, but it's an obstacle that I faced. It's still a little scary to say it because those individuals that impacted my career are still very powerful down at the state capitol.
Yeah, that sounds very impactful, but in the end, it probably influenced you in a good way to become even better as an individual.
Even stronger, yeah. And my parents raised me to give back. My parents are not college educated. We did not grow up with a lot of money, but what money we had, it's about giving back and helping, and so that is kind of the core of who I am, being a school board member. My ability to use being an attorney and knowledge of the law and education to give back, but it's also important for me to tell my story because no one should have to go through what I did, and I want people to know they can do it, and there's others out there to support them.
That's amazing. Thank you. And then, are there any other areas in your career that you feel like you could still improve upon?
I think, I always live by a mantra. When you die, you don't wish you would have worked another day. You don't wish that you would have gotten more sleep, but you wish you would have made more of an impact. So I believe that in life you have to keep learning. So my job is to keep learning. I think one of the reasons why I became an attorney, you can't know all of the law. I mean, maybe if you're uber brilliant, but you cannot become an expert in every area of the law. So you always have to learn and keep learning, and so that's what's really important. I want to find ways, how can I do better for all of our kids? Here at Inderkum, do you feel like this is a good education? Can we make it better at Natomas High School as well? Are we offering the programs that are very interesting to you? And are they helping you when you graduate to be either college or career ready? So am I always learning? Yes. Is there more to learn? Yes. But I want to use my knowledge of being an attorney, being in the position of a school board member, to be a leader and hopefully make changes that impact a lot of our kids that really need it here.
Great, yeah. And then so with that, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Hopefully because my kids still like me and I'm a good mom. I love running my own career. As I said, I run it out of my house, and unless I meet my clients, I'm in my yoga pants. So it's a goal. Work hard. You can run your own business, and if you work hard, your clients believe in you, and it doesn't matter what you wear. But I would love to still be on the school board member. I am up for re-election this year, and it's a 4-year term, so I have to go knock on doors and raise money and ask people to vote for me. So I still want to be a school board member to give back, and I hope that I'm able. My clients tend to be a little bit of the underdogs or small school districts or really good companies. I want to continue to represent the good guys, fight for the good guys, sometimes the overlooked. So that's important to me, is hopefully making a positive impact.
That's great. Thank you very much. And then do you have any last advice that you would give as a mentor?
As a mentor, find people that you look up to. You don't have to know them. I learned later on that it's important to make friends. I called them the people when I went through the Capitol and the issues. I found those who had been in the industry for a while and kind of called them my aunts and uncles, that they'd been around, and I went to them. Find people that you like, sit down, get to know them, and ask them advice. The best thing is it's not always your family, but it's the family you make. And so, and it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I wish I had understood more. It's who you know, because they will help you. And just as much as you guys have questions about college or interesting things, you now know me. You get to use me. You get to ask me advice. What do you think? What was it like in law school? So, and I've always learned, when somebody tells me no, that just means that pathway might be closed, but you didn't say no, never. So I believe in, if there is something you want, find the pathway, find the people, do not give up. And it's actually good when somebody tells you no, because it makes you work harder for what you really want. So, and that's always kind of been my mantra. I actually like it when people tell me no, because then I find another way, and then I learn along the way. So just never give up and make friends.
That's great advice. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too.